Hey, this is Chris Vercelli, Nonfiction Fitness. Hey, today I'm going to talk about positional strength training. Now, you may have read about this in my latest article in Play magazine, where I talked about positional strength training related to tennis positions of the shoulder. Now, you are probably a tennis player if you read that article and you're watching this video because I told you that I made one in that article. And so you're probably wondering how you can strengthen your shoulder to be better prepared for the things that it's going to do on the tennis court. Now, this area is one of the most injured areas for all tennis players. Now, you've probably encountered that with some of the people that you play with. Maybe you've even had an injury there yourself. I personally have worked with many people that have had shoulder injuries that continue to play tennis. I have 4 clients right now that have been diagnosed with rotator cuff tears and have not had surgery and are still playing tennis regularly. So this is a way that you can become one of those people, either one of the ones that plays and doesn't get injured, or one of the ones that continues to play despite an injury. So if that's of interest to you, watch this video to the end. So the first thing that I'm going to go over is just the biomechanics of the shoulder. So you may have seen this before. Maybe it was a long time ago, or maybe it's very familiar to you, but I'm going to review it with you here just so that you get a concept of what we're actually trying to accomplish. So this is the scapula, this is the humerus. Together, they make up the shoulder joint. So in tennis, we have to get our shoulder into many different positions in order to make contact with the ball and get it back on the other side of the court. So we might be here, we might be here, we might be here, we might be here. All these different positions have a different relationship between these two bones, and they have a different relationship between all the connective tissues and all the muscles that support these two bones around this joint. So we want to make sure that we're strong in each one of these positions, because probably you've noticed that some positions you're a little bit stronger in. Like maybe your backhand's a little bit better than your forehand. You know, maybe you're a little stronger here than you are here, right? So this is very normal to notice because all those positions do have a different amount of strength. And a lot of the strength that we exhibit in those positions is dictated by the way that we've trained those positions. So you'll see a lot of times people at the gym, you know, they're doing these like internal and external rotation exercises with bands, right? Well, that's very good, you know, for strengthening this position, but it doesn't necessarily transfer to every other position that we would need to get the arm into during tennis. So I'm going to teach you an easy way that you can apply this principle and be better prepared for the stresses that tennis brings to your shoulder so that you can prevent injury or strengthen enough to be able to play through some injuries like a lot of my clients have. So the first thing that I'm going to go over with you, just some ways that you can do this without any equipment or props. Okay, so you saw a couple of these exercises in the magazine. I'm going to show you a few more right here, and then we're going to go and see how we can do this with some props and broaden outside of these few basic positions. So a couple things that we want to start with are motions of internal and external rotation. Okay, so first thing that we're going to do is we're going to have the arm out to the side right here. Okay, and this time we're going to be pushing this way. So this is internal rotation of the arm. This would be external rotation of the arm. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to do internal rotation of the arm. So I'm going to actually use my opposite hand. Now you typically want to do this with the arm that you hold the racket with, but you can do it with both, and that's totally fine. But you want to take your opposite hand and you want to brace the inside of your forearm, and you want to just push into internal rotation, so into the direction that my fingers point. And what you're basically doing is you're creating an isometric or a non-moving exercise. So what this does is it specifically trains this position of the shoulder. Now the reason why it's so critical to strengthen these positions is because these are the positions that you will make contact with the ball in. So when your arm is here and you've got the racket in your hand and you make contact with the ball, that's the position that you're going to be needing to be strong in. So what you're going to do is you're going to be pushing into your hand. Okay. You're going to hold that for about 10 to 15 seconds. And we're going to do this motion, okay? So this is external rotation. So this time we're going this way, okay? Pushing here. Okay. So again, we're doing strength training in a position that we often make contact with the ball in. So we want to make sure that we're good and strong here. So you're going to push there. Okay. Then we're going to come up and we're going to do a positional strength training exercise for internal rotation here. Okay, because this is another common position that we're in whenever we strike the ball. So we're going to brace with the opposite hand. We're going to push into it. Okay, and we're going to hold that also about 15 seconds. Now the amount of effort that you use is going to be dictated by the comfort level as well as the endurance. If you can't push as hard as you can for 15 seconds, don't do that. Just push lightly. Okay. So those three are going to get us started. Then we're going to go over and do this with some props, and we'll show you that here in just a second. All right, so now I'm going to show you another position that you can do to help to strengthen your shoulder to prepare it better for tennis. And for this, I'm going to use a barrier, okay? So you could just imagine that this is a wall in your house. You know, maybe you're doing this in a door jam, and you know, you're standing in the doorway, and you're going to put your arm right here on the wall. So this is the position, more or less, that you're going to be in when you make contact with the ball during your serve. Maybe you'll be a little bit further back, but it'll be mostly within this range here. So you're going to be in this position. You're going to push forward. Okay, so you're going to push your hand into the wall. You're going to feel a lot of stuff tensing up all through here. Okay, and you're just going to push for about 15 seconds. Okay, no movement, just pushing. So again, you can moderate the amount of effort based on how comfortable it is and how strong you feel. I'm okay with you pushing as hard as you can if you're comfortable doing that. But just kind of feel it out and maybe start a little bit light and then ramp up to that maximal effort. Now what's really cool is if you can actually get yourself to a fitness center that has a cable apparatus, okay, like what I have in front of me here, you have so many more options for how you can train your shoulder and prepare it for tennis. Okay? So most gyms have some form of a cable machine like this where you have the opportunity to move this pulley up and down in various positions. I'm going to show you a couple of things that I do with my clients on this machine, and you can take this and apply it to your own workouts if you have access to a gym. So what I've done here is I've put the pin of the weight stack down to the lowest possible weight. Lowest on the stack, I mean, so the heaviest weight on the stack. So I know that when I pull into this, it's not going to move. Okay, and that's what I want, because remember, we're doing these isometrically, or non-movement based exercise So we're going to make sure that this doesn't move so that we can get into these positions and we can stay in these positions. So there's a number of positions that I like to train my clients in. So you've got the across the body, different positions here. And remember, I'm pulling in this direction on all of this. You've got the ones here going this way. Each one of these positions is going to help me prepare for what's going to happen out on the court. Now this also works fantastic for injury recovery, because what you'll typically find with any kind of shoulder injury is that you have certain positions that you move into that are painful, right? Most of the time it's this one or maybe this one. Those are most often the ones that are the most painful for people. And that's because shoulder impingement, rotator cuff tears are the most common injuries that people have in their shoulder. So what I'll typically do is I will have people begin to train those positions and strengthen those positions using this cable machine. So if I'm trying to strengthen somebody in this motion, to be able to do that motion with less pain, I can have them start to do positional strength training by pulling into that direction. So you see how my arm is out in that position, and I'm pushing up into that same direction. Okay, but I'm not quite going to the place that causes me pain. I'm going a little bit below that. Okay, because if I can get to here before there's pain, and anywhere above here is, ooh, that kind of hurts, I want to stay well below that. Okay, so you can begin to do that too. If you get any kind of shoulder discomfort in a particular position, you can begin to train in a similar position, but not quite in the one that's painful. Okay, hopefully that made sense. Go back and watch that a couple times if you need some clarity there. Okay, so same thing if I have some issues going this way. Okay, I can train a lesser degree of that position, because I might have pain here, but okay, I'm okay here, so I can start training there. And what you're going to notice is the more that you develop strength in those lesser positions, the more you're going to be able to get into those deeper positions if you're doing it with the right effort level and you're not pushing yourself beyond what your shoulder wants you to do. And it'll let you know. I mean, if you feel any discomfort or if it feels really tired after you do it, you're pushing too hard. So just go real light, real gentle, and just kind of ease your way into it. Hold it for about 15 to 20 seconds each repetition, and do this maybe 2 to 3 times a week. Okay? So hopefully you found this video helpful. Watch it a couple of times to kind of refresh yourself on some of these exercises. And I will be right back with a special offer for you in just a moment. So now tell me how you're feeling in comparison to how you were when you first came in.
I'd say probably 75% better.
And he worked on me, and in one visit took care of a chronic shoulder injury that I'd been dealing with for quite a while. And I tried everything to fix this shoulder problem. Exercises, physical therapy, adjusting, and nothing helped until I went through the M80 Protocol.
He started working with me, and right away I was so impressed because he went right to the, he was able to diagnose the core of the issue, the problem, the source of the problem, and went right to it, alleviated the pain. But not only did he alleviate the pain, he went right to the issue that was causing the whole thing.
What I find beneficial is that I have peace of mind because I know if something hurts that Chris can fix it.
I have been feeling 100% since I started with him, so it's been a miracle.
Once he gets that body working in tandem again, the muscles all working with each other, it greatly improves the quality of your life. I was walking better, moving better, sleeping better.
So I'm really a believer in the muscle activation technique. It was somewhat of a question mark for me at the beginning, but I wasn't quite a great deal of pain, so you get to the point where you're like, just want some relief, and I got that fairly quickly.
M80 for me is the #1 thing that I can honestly say has saved my life, and Chris, I just can't thank you enough for it. It's been a godsend to me.
All right, so hopefully you enjoyed this exercise video and you found it very helpful. If you're on my website watching this right now, you can go to the right sidebar and you can download for free right now a copy of my newest book. It's called Improve Muscles, Improve Life, and it will help you tremendously to understand what you need to do in order to overcome any kind of overuse injury that you're dealing with for your shoulder or really for any part of your body. And what this will tell you is a process that can help you to overcome that faster and easier so you can be back out on the tennis court playing again. Now what I showed you in this video will be tremendously helpful. You implement that, you will start to make some gains, but maybe you've been dealing with this for a really long time. Maybe it's a pretty severe problem and you feel like you may need some help with it. Well, I'd be more than happy to get this in your hands for free so you can be educated on how I might be able to help you with that. And if you like what you read, then go ahead and give me a call and we'll set up a consultation where we can talk further and see how I can best help you. So you can get this, again, on the right sidebar. Just put in your name and email address and it will be sent right to you. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I will be back again with more helpful articles and more helpful videos to help you move better, live better, and perform better. God bless.